knew something was wrong the moment she told me she was pregnant. It wasn't the news itself. After all, we'd talked about kids for years, even dreamed about painting a nursery one day. But when the words left her lips, her eyes didn't shine with joy. They darted away, avoiding mine, like she'd just confessed to something shameful. Pregnant, I repeated, my voice breaking somewhere between shock and hope. Wow, Emily. She cut me off with a half-smile that never reached her eyes. Yeah, I guess it's happening. Something about the flatness in her tone gnawed at me. This wasn't how it was supposed to feel. No laughter, no tears of joy, no tight embrace. Just tension. And silence heavy enough to choke me. At first, I told myself she was just scared. But deep down, in the place you bury the thoughts you don't want to face, I already knew. Cracks in the glass. Emily and I had been married for 6 years. We'd built what looked like a stable life. 2 steady jobs, a nice little house in the suburbs, and weekend routines that felt almost too ordinary. She worked as a project manager at a tech company. I was in marketing. Our schedules were busy, but we always found time for each other. Or so I thought. Over the past year, though, she'd grown distant. She stayed late at work more often. Her phone never left her hand. She started guarding it like it held nuclear codes. Whenever I walked into a room, the screen dimmed, or she'd tilt it just enough so I couldn't see. I confronted her once. "Why do you keep hiding your phone?" asked, trying to sound casual. "I'm not hiding anything," she shot back too quickly. "It's just work stuff. Confidential." I wanted to believe her. So I did. Or maybe I just didn't want to face the alternative. But when she told me she was pregnant, the puzzle pieces slammed together. The long nights, the secrecy, the strange emptiness in her voice. My chest tightened with a truth I didn't want to say aloud. This child might not be mine. A slip. The confirmation came 2 weeks later. We were in the kitchen, and Emily was on her phone again, smiling faintly. "Who's that?" I asked, leaning against the counter. She froze for a fraction of a second before answering. "Just a friend from work." But later that night, as she showered, her phone buzzed on the nightstand. I shouldn't have looked. I know that. But something in me snapped. The silence, the avoidance, the way she seemed to live in a world I wasn't allowed into anymore. The message preview read, "I can't wait to meet our baby. He'll have your eyes. Greg, or boss." The words sliced through me like glass. "Baby, or eyes." I sat there, phone trembling in my hand, bile rising in my throat. It was one thing to suspect. It was another to have it carved into stone. The confrontation. When she came out of the shower, wrapped in a towel, humming like nothing was wrong, I felt the dam burst. "Who's Greg?" I asked, my voice cold. She froze mid-step, color draining from her face. What are you talking about?" I held up her phone. "Don't play dumb." I saw the message. "Our baby." "Emily, what the hell is going on?" Her lips trembled, and for a moment, I saw the truth in her eyes before she even spoke. "I didn't mean for this to happen," she whispered. The room spun. My hands clenched into fists at my sides. "You've been sleeping with your boss?" Tears welled up, but they felt rehearsed, almost like an act. "It started months ago. I was stressed, lonely, he was there. It just happened." I laughed bitterly, the sound raw and ugly. It just happened. And the baby. She broke then, sobbing into her hands. "It's his." The floor seemed to collapse beneath me. 6 years of marriage, of trust, of dreams about a future together, shattered in an instant. Her audacity. I thought the worst was behind me, but I was wrong. A few days later, she sat me down, her face pale but determined. "Listen, James," she began softly. "I know you're hurt, but we can make this work." I stared at her, numb. "Make this work? You're carrying another man's child." "I know," she said quickly. "But you're my husband. We can raise this baby together. Greg can't be a father. He's married, he has too much to lose. But you," she reached for my hand. "You're stable. Or good. You'd be the perfect dad. I yanked my hand away like her touch burned. You expect me to raise your affair baby. Her eyes hardened. It's not just my mistake, James. It's our marriage. If you walk away, you're just proving you never really loved me. The audacity of it left me speechless. She betrayed me, got pregnant by another man, and somehow twisted it into my responsibility. Breaking point. That night, I sat alone in the living room, staring at the framed photos on the wall. Our wedding day, vacations, birthdays, smiles that now looked like lies frozen in time. I thought about what kind of man I wanted to be. Could I really live with myself, raising another man's child while pretending everything was fine? Could I forgive her, knowing every time I looked at that child, I'd see Greg's eyes staring back at me? Well, the answer was clear, even if it tore me apart. I wasn't going to sacrifice my dignity, my future, and my peace of mind for someone who saw me as nothing more than a safety net. The next morning I walked into a lawyer's office. The fallout. When I told Emily I'd filed for divorce, she broke down, screaming and begging all at once. You can't do this, James. Think about our life, our house, everything we've built. Our life, I said quietly. You destroyed it the moment you chose him. But I need you, she sobbed. The baby needs you. I felt something inside me go cold. That's not my child. And you're not my wife anymore. Not in the ways that matter. She stared at me like I'd just stabbed her, but I didn't waver. For the first time in months I felt clarity. The divorce wasn't pretty. She tried to fight for the house for financial support, even tried to guilt me into reconsidering. But the evidence of her affair was undeniable, and my lawyer made sure the court saw it. In the end, she walked away with little more than her broken pride, and a pregnancy she thought she could dump onto me. I walked away with my freedom. It wasn't easy. Nights were long and lonely. The silence of the house felt heavier without her. But with every passing day, I felt the fog lift. I realized something important. Betrayal doesn't define me. Her choices don't dictate my worth. Months later, I heard through mutual friends that Greg's wife found out. His marriage collapsed. Emily ended up raising the baby alone, without him, without me. Sometimes late at night I wonder if she ever regrets it. If she ever looks at that child and thinks of what she lost. As for me, I've started to rebuild. Slowly, carefully. Not rushing into anything but learning to trust myself again. Because in the end, I chose myself over her lies. And that, I think, is the truest form of freedom.